Focus. Listening. News items. You are going to hear 7 news items. They will be read once only. After each news item, there will be a pause of 20 seconds for you to answer the questions by writing one of the letters A, B, C or D in the boxes on your answer sheet. After writing your answer, you may also like to look at the question which follows. When you hear the following sound, go on to the next question. Now, please have a look at question number 1 on your answer sheet. Number 1.
Chocolate has been called the food of the gods, and no wonder. Imagine taking a bite of your favourite bar. Feel it melting in your mouth, releasing its deep, rich flavour, and caressing your taste buds with a warm, smooth, creamy sensation. You may have had a terrible day, but now things don't seem quite so bad. Until recently, chocolate has been considered a guilty pleasure. It tastes so good people thought it had to be bad for you. The good news is that in moderation, chocolate can play a supporting role in a well-balanced diet.
Question number 1. What is the news about chocolate? Number 2.
Most fish depend on the swim bladder, a balloon-like elongated body sac, to stay neutrally afloat at any given depth. As they move vertically up and down through water, they need to constantly change the amount of air in their swim bladders to adjust to pressures at different depths. Fish need more air in the bladder to float comfortably at lower sea levels, and less air when closer to the surface.
Question number 2. What does this news item tell us about fish? Number 3.
The construction of a railway test track for new tilting trains has been delayed because the planned route threatens a small colony of Deptford pink, one of Britain's rarest plants. The 2 borough councils involved have agreed to grant planning permission on condition that no work will start until agreement is reached with English Nature. This may entail relocating the Deptford pink population nearby by taking seed and trying to regenerate the plant further up the bank of the track.
Question number 3. What is this news item about? Number 4.
Lord Melchett, the Norfolk farmer and executive director of Greenpeace, said yesterday that the court decision to clear him and 27 other campaigners of causing criminal damage in an attack on a trial farm for genetically manipulated maize was a victory for farmers all over Britain. GM crops should now be consigned to the dustbin of history as a technology that went wrong, he concluded. The National Farmers Union, however, described the verdict as perverse and said it gave green light to wanton vandalism and trespass on British farmland.
Question number 4. What are we told in this news item? Number 5.
Nowadays, ignoring Spanish in New York would be quite a feat. A recent survey shows that half the Bronx residents are of Hispanic origin, and 1 in 5 New Yorkers speak Spanish at home. In the last 2 years, Spanish has become the most requested language in the city's private language schools, where registration has doubled, forcing many schools to add classes or move to bigger buildings. Speaking Spanish is becoming a desirable skill in the workforce, which employers are willing to pay for. Workers in businesses like the St. Regis Hotel and the New York Times have signed up for Spanish classes, paid for wholly or in part by their employers. And the police department will soon begin offering language programs to officers. The list goes on. Richard Huarte, director of a language school in the city, specializing in corporate accounts, says that 30 years ago they started training people to do business in Latin America or Spain. But now people are learning Spanish to deal with people right here in New York. The Hispanic community is the boom market. It's no kind of secret that to reach it, you have to know Spanish.
Question number 5. Choose the most suitable headline for this report. Number 6.
Scientists lost a $125 million spacecraft as it approached Mars in September because they confused feet and pounds with meters and kilograms, according to NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. An internal review team at the space agency's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, in a preliminary conclusion, said the British company that built the spacecraft specified certain measurements about the spacecraft's thrust in pounds, an English unit, but that NASA scientists thought the measurement was in newtons, a metric unit. The resulting miscalculation took the Mars craft off course by about 60 miles as it approached Mars. This is going to be the cautionary tale that is going to be embedded into all introductions to the metric system in elementary school and high school and college physics till the end of time, said a representative of the Federation of American Scientists. The finding was a major embarrassment for the space agency, which said it was investigating how such a basic error could have gone through the checks and balances of a space mission.
Question number 6. What would be a suitable headline for this news item? Number 7.
Nodding off at work is slowly losing its stigma in corporate America. There is even a respectable name for the habit: power napping. Snoozing at the office is gaining ground thanks to the efforts of scientists like James Mass, a sleep researcher at Cornell University. During the past year, Dr. Mass has given his seminars at several big-name companies, and last month made his pitch as part of a series of conferences that brought together 2,700 top executives. At the very least, napping is winning converts because of safety concerns. The Federal Aviation Administration has just drafted a policy approving napping by airline pilots. You can get temporary help through stimulation, coffee, exercise, brighter light, cooler temperatures, says another researcher, but you're actually fixing the problem by simply taking a nap.
Question number 7. What is reported in this news item? That's the end of the listening test.